What if your house is surrounded by a mist? What will you do? The mist is toxic, and once people inhale it, they will die immediately. Welcome to Movie Ape Channel. Today I will bring you a drama and mystery movie, A Breath Away. About an hour ago, the city had an earthquake that caused a citywide power outage, and Matthew, who lives on the second floor, went out into the street to check on the situation. Then Matthew was terrified. He saw a large amount of toxic mist spewing out of the ground, and some people had fallen to the ground because they inhaled the mist. The mist spread wildly through the streets, swallowing up everything on the ground, and everyone was running desperately. The mist soon entered the buildings, and Matthew quickly went home to tell his wife Anna the situation, and then ran with her to the top floor for shelter. They knocked on the door of their neighbor's apartment, which was occupied by a friendly old couple, Lucien and Colette, and they had no idea what was going on outside. Coming to the balcony, they find the street has been flooded with mist, and there are helicopters flying overhead. To get a better view, Matthew climbs to the rooftop, where he discovers that the entire city of Paris is covered by a thick mist. Then Matthew goes to the stairs and touches the mist. There is no corrosion, and he doesn't smell anything. They are temporarily safe here, but their daughter is trapped on the second floor. Their daughter Sarah suffers from a very rare disease, and she must breathe the cleanest air, so for years, she has been living in a sealed capsule at home. And the main function of the sealed capsule is to filter the air. Although the power outage has activated the capsule's battery mode, the battery can only last a few hours. Matthew will need to change the battery for the capsule when the time comes, but it takes 4 minutes to get from here to the second floor, and there is no way he can hold his breath that long. Matthew suddenly remembers that the asthmatic man who lives on the 5th floor has an oxygen tank and mask. To save his daughter, he climbs down the pipe, takes a deep breath, and then enters the mist. He breaks the window to get inside the apartment, where he finds the asthmatic man dead. Matthew is very nervous, and just as he is about to lose his breath, he manages to find the oxygen tank and mask. He hurriedly put on the mask, he takes a few heavy breaths, then puts the oxygen tank on his back and prepares to leave. Suddenly, he seems to hear something. He opens a door and a puppy rushes out. Apparently, this puppy is immune to the mist, but strangely enough, the puppy's mother is dead. Then he returns home, changes a new battery for the sealed capsule, and reassures his daughter that everything will be fine. He then decides to go outside to see what's going on, only to find the streets littered with the bodies of victims. That's when he notices a group of soldiers evacuating with survivors. The soldiers also don't know where the mist comes from, but one of them gives Matthew a better mask. The soldier wants to take Matthew with him, but Matthew refuses because he must stay to save his daughter, and the kind soldier gives him an extra mask. Back to the top floor, according to the marks made on the stairs earlier, Matthew notices that the mist is still rising, and at this rate, the place will be flooded sooner or later. The next day, they still don't see any government response to this disaster. They can't wait like this any longer. They decide to escape to the house of Sarah's friend Charlotte, who lives in the hills. Charlotte has the same syndrome, so Sarah could share her capsule. But their daughter needs a sealed suit to move out, and that equipment is only available at the downtown lab, so the couple decides to go get it together. But on the way there, they bump into a vicious dog. The couple runs for their lives through the streets, while the vicious dog is chasing after them. Due to low visibility, Matthew accidentally falls into the river, and the rushing water quickly carries him away. The dog won't stop and turns to attack Anna, who runs into a bus, and the dog rushes in. Fortunately, the leash is caught in a suitcase. Anna immediately jumps out of the window. She wants to search for Matthew, but she can't because she must find the seal suit to save her daughter as soon as possible. Luckily, Matthew didn't drown, and he climbs up from the river. A few moments later, the couple meets again near the lab building, and then they enter the lab. After some searching, they finally get the sealed suit. As they are leaving, there is an unexpected explosion, and Matthew's clothes are on fire. Anna rushes over to help put out the fire, but Matthew's oxygen tube is damaged by the fire, so they have no choice but to share the oxygen. They take the sealed suit to the top floor of the lab building and decide to take a temporary break here. Matthew's skin was severely burned and Anna gave him a simple bandage. After a short break, they are ready to go home, but the remaining oxygen is not enough to support 2 people. Matthew convinces Anna to take the sealed suit and go home first. Although Anna doesn't want to leave him behind, she has to do it for the sake of their daughter. Then, Anna begins a race against time. Later, Matthew climbs up to the rooftop and tries to use the rooftops of the houses to get home. Shortly after, he arrives at a rooftop parking lot, where there is a long trail of blood on the ground. He realizes that a murder has just taken place here. He cautiously checks around and finds a lot of food in the corner, and to his surprise, there is an oxygen mask here. Matthew immediately puts the equipment on and prepares to go home. Suddenly, a policeman walks in, and maybe he is the murderer. The policeman orders Matthew to drop the mask while reaching for his gun. Matthew secretly opens the valve of the oxygen tank, then puts on the mask and rushes toward him. The policeman tries to reach for the gun but is strangled. He is soon poisoned to death for not wearing a mask. Meanwhile, Anna is almost home, but she has run out of oxygen. Anna takes off her mask, holds her breath, and drags the big box desperately up the stairs. Finally, she successfully gets out of the mist. When she opens the box, she finds that the previous explosion has caused severe damage to the sealed suit, and without it, her daughter Sarah will have no chance of survival. What's worse is that the sealed capsule is about to run out of power again, and she must go to change the battery for her daughter immediately. Without a mask, she takes a deep breath and rushes down. At the moment the battery of the sealed capsule is dead, the mist begins to invade the capsule. Anna arrives in time and immediately changes the battery. After the power is restored, the mist inside is drained out. Sarah asks her mother why she isn't wearing a mask. Anna cannot answer her, she looks at her daughter, then leaves unwillingly. Hours later, Matthew returns home and learns everything from his daughter. He anxiously goes upstairs to look for his wife. Unfortunately, she has been sacrificed. For her daughter, she has done everything she can. When Sarah asks about her mother, Matthew doesn't know how to answer. Later, he begins to plan his escape route. Suddenly, the earthquake hits again, causing the mist to rise even faster. Apparently, it is no longer safe here. Matthew recalls a fallen van with a hazmat suit in it. He saw it when he was returning home. He tells Lucien he's going out to find the hazmat suit and masks, and he's not going to leave anyone behind. But Lucien rejects him with a smile. He says God has always been generous to them, they have had a wonderful life, and this apartment is their end. The old couple lies peacefully in bed, holding hands as they await the end of their lives, and they leave this world with grace. Coming to the street, Matthew quickly finds the van and gets the hazmat suit. To return home faster, he finds a scooter on the side of the road, then rides home as fast as he can. Unexpectedly, a boy suddenly rushes out. To dodge him, Matthew falls to the ground and knocks himself out. After waking up, he finds himself with a serious head injury. He struggles to get up and limps home, but the pain is unbearable and he has to sit down to take a rest after only a few steps. He tries to call his daughter on the walkie-talkie, but gets no response. He is in despair. Suddenly, two people appear out of the mist without masks, but unaffected. They turn out to be his daughter Sarah and her friend Noah, who suffer from the same disease. Apparently, this disease can protect them from the mist. Sarah runs to him, and for the first time in 12 years, the two hug each other. At the end of the story, Matthew awakes to find himself in Sarah's medical capsule, their roles reversed, with Sarah now looking after him.